Hey, 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 what is up? What's happening? What's going on? Happy Tuesday. I am super excited for this one. This is going to be amazing. I haven't sat down with this gentleman in a while. I can't actually remember the last time. And it's been long overdue, but one of my favorite trainers in the industry, and he is an absolute pro. And I can tell you that I've hung out with him personally. He does not just talk the talk, but he also walks the walk. And he's someone that I deeply appreciate. I know that you probably love him as well. If not, you will. And so I'm super excited for this. So drop us a comment. Let me know that you're in and feel free to subscribe. I'm going to welcome my good friend, industry legend, Todd Falcone. Todd, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Ray? Good to see you.
Good. I'm hyping you up, man.
I heard it. I love it.
And so, Todd, tell for those who maybe are brand new to the industry, or they're an alien species that just came from another planet. Tell them your history in the industry. Like, who is Todd Falcone? What have you been up to, and how do you help people?
Yeah. Well, my history in network marketing is long, 36 years. Was like most people wanting to have a good life and make good money, and was lucky enough to get introduced to network marketing as I was graduating college. I actually never went into the regular career world. I went straight into network marketing and was introduced to it. Never heard of it before. I didn't, it didn't exist on planet Earth prior to my introduction to it. I think most people probably heard about it and they maybe have some thoughts or something. I didn't even know what it was, but conceptually it made sense. And I jumped and I've been in it ever since. So it's 36 years, built in the field for about 17 years. And then segued into training. People always ask you like, why'd you become a trainer if you're so good at network marketing? I'm like, sure. I didn't ask to do this. It wasn't like I was like, oh, I want to be a trainer. I was with a company for 11 years. They went out of business. The owner was a gambling addict, unfortunately. And, things happened and they went out of business. And then a dude that I knew, who was running events, he said, hey, will you come and speak at this event in San Francisco? And I was like, yeah, I guess. What do you want me to talk about? I'm like, I had never done that before. Right. So he's like, dude, just talk about prospecting and how you build your business. So I did. And one thing led to another. And now it's been 20 years of like traveling around the planet, teaching network marketing based on the things that work well for me. So that's the very abbreviated short story, but I've been, just in this business for a long time. I mean, I'll never forget the first time I met you I think that event was down in Florida, big old event. And, that's man. How many years has that been now? That's been a long time.
So
no excuses, right?
Oh, no excuses. Well, that would have been in Vegas. If we met
the early one, or maybe it was LTD. Maybe it was the first LTD. I can't remember, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah. Because I know I had you speak at the first Top Earner Academy. That was 2013. So we knew each other before then. And so, I was speaking at No Excuses and Live the Dreams. And so were you. I'm curious. I just want to go back. So who, you don't have to say the name, but I guess how were you prospected? Like, was it a friend? Was it a family member or a stranger?
I was actually cold called out of the white pages. This guy there's like names of people that are graduating, and he grabbed the names of all the graduates out of the marketing department at Long Beach State, called me up because my name's Jim. I'm with Orange County Marketing Group. We're a marketing company. We're looking for people that can train and manage others in the expansion of our company. And we'd love to talk to you. That's word for word what that guy said 36 years ago. So
cold calling doesn't work, guys.
Nope, doesn't work.
Doesn't work at all. Oh my God. An industry legend, 36 years, cold called. I love hearing that, man. That's so cool. One of the things that, I kind of know you for, and I think a lot of people know you for, is just helping people recruit professionals. And that was always, my preference. I always liked recruiting either business owners or commission salespeople. Like I didn't want to have is it a job argument. Not that I couldn't overcome those objections, but that wasn't my preference. Like I prefer recruiting professionals. In my world, business owners, commission salespeople, realtors, et cetera. And so what are some of your best tips around, like, first of all, why does someone want that type of person or might want that type of person? and any kind of suggestions on what's best approaches.
Yeah. I mean, I think if we look at what we do in network marketing, you're building a team of producers, right? That's ultimately what you're looking to do. People that can do, will do, and they go do. And so, this is a social business. It's a people business. It's a connection business. And you need to be able to have a conversation with somebody and, ask questions and build rapport and do all those things. And, if you're a person who's sitting, on your keyboard and coding out, software 15 hours a day, sucking down 16 Coca-Colas a day, and you don't want to talk to anybody, that's probably not a good match. So, when I spent about 11 years working leads, like purchase business opportunity seeker leads. This is like from like 95 to 05. And I did well with it. I always thought like first time I got a batch of leads, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got 100 leads. I'm going to recruit 80 of these people. No, like 80 of them probably won't even be able to carry on a conversation. Maybe 20 of them will, and I'll recruit 3. I had to quickly like change my expectations around that. And so I built a lot of my business with leads, but then, the more skilled you get, the more confident you get, and the more just time under your belt, you kind of realize like, do I want to waste my time talking to people that are a waste of my time? And the answer was no. And I remember sitting at I was living in the first house that I purchased, and it was like, and I was making good money. I mean, I don't remember 200-300 grand a year at the time in my network marketing business, not huge money, but respectable. And I was sitting there and I was like, I had this day and I was just like, dude, it was like everybody, either they were, they just couldn't talk or they were like, when is this? Or how much? Just like one of those days. And I was like, man, I don't want this. Like, this is not fun to me. And so I was like, there was a Homes and Land magazine sitting on my desk, which is a pretty popular like franchise real estate magazine. I was like, realtors. Well, all those people, they sell for a living. They make money on commissions. Most of the realtors I know are pretty cool. So I picked it up, opened the magazine, found this female real estate agent. I got butterflies in my stomach. I'm like, I'm going to try to prospect this person, but I have no idea. So I made the call. She said no. I'm like, okay, well, that script didn't work. And I flipped the page and I found another one, called this guy, kind of changed up what I said. And he said yes. I was like, okay, cool. Made one more phone call that night to another female real estate agent. And she said yes. And I'm just starting this. Like, what am I going to say? How am I going to ask the question? And so it's brand new, but I woke up the next day, I started getting after it. And my whole thought process, because you asked the question, like, why professionals? Well, the professionals that I've been teaching people for years to call into or reach out to are individuals that have commonalities with what we do in network marketing. They're already paid on commissions. That's how we're paid. We don't make an hourly wage here. They already do essentially what we do. They're calling on people, they're prospecting, they're selling, they're leading teams. They're, doing the same kind of work. They're just doing it elsewhere. And to some extent, I think that the professions that, like I said, that I focus on, they have a moderate to a high tolerance for risk. I think we're a little bit risk takers as network marketers because we're doing something that we probably didn't think we were going to do. It's not like a bunch of financial risk, but it's like reputational risk. And so these, like, take a commercial real estate broker. Well, I mean, if they don't produce, then they're going to have to bartend at night, until they build up their book of business, insurance, whatever. So these are risk takers. So they already have the same things in common that we do here in network marketing. And that just, makes a lot of sense. The other thing is that, I can make fun of this because it was my first job. My first job was at age of 16 was working at McDonald's for $3.35 an hour. Okay, as a 16-year-old pimple-faced kid flipping burgers, who am I hanging out with? I'm hanging out with a bunch of pimple-faced 16-year-old kids. Who does a 42-year-old real estate agent hanging out with, or an insurance agent, or a financial planner? They have a different center of influence than, somebody who, may even be the same age. And, I mean, I commend anybody who has a job, but if you're 42 and you're stuffing shelves at Walmart for minimum wage, good for you for taking care of your family. But who is your center of influence versus a 42-year-old real estate pro? So that was the rationale behind it. It took me 5 years to come up with the peak interest question that I still wouldn't change today. And that peak interest question is like, how would I ask the question? I'll roll through a quick example. Please, driving down the street, I see a for sale sign. Okay, to me, that's an opportunity. I pull over, I pull out my trusty yellow pad. I write out the realtor's name and phone number, press the gas, ring, ring. Good afternoon. This is Jan. I'm like, Jan, Todd Falcone. How's it going? She's like, great. What can I do for you? I said, Jan, I just drove by your listing here in Beaver Lake Estates. "Oh, fantastic. Are you interested in the home?" I'm like, "Well, it's a beautiful home. I live right down the street. I'm an entrepreneur. I love working with people in the real estate community. And I just have a very straight up question for you. Do you at all keep your options open in terms of making any money outside of what you're currently doing as a real estate professional?" That's the peak interest question.
Love
Now,
it.
I mean, I clearly sped through that. That's the first time I've ever actually done that. You can tell. No, I've done it so many thousands and thousands of times that it just flies. I don't sound like I'm reading because I'm not. I was looking in the camera lens the whole time. And that's something that anybody here can learn to do. And I think, again, Ray, the whole bottom line is like, we're looking for people. I mean, how many times, like, I just did a live about this where I brought this subject up. In network marketing, you sign up 20 people and like 2 of them do something. That's frustrating. What if you signed up 20 and 14 of them did something? Wouldn't that be cool? And that's what I find with professionals. They're used to
and none of them
rolling up their sleeves
complained.
after it. No, and they're like, "Oh, it's $500 to get started." No, wait, call me in 6 months. They'll put on their credit card that day. Yeah,
right. And I want to point something out. So I want to quote I believe it's a Nike commercial. It says, "Amateurs practice until they get it right. Professionals practice until they cannot get it wrong." And that's the difference. Like, there's some people that will bash, scripts, which is strange. No other industry does that. But some trainers be like, "Don't you dare use scripts." Well, it's not for you to sound like a script. It's for you to own it, like to learn it. Just like Todd just spit out. That at one point was a script. He owned it. He owns it, and he can spit it out at will. And all the things he just said, any of you could do. All of you have realtors in your area. All of you have real estate signs in your area. All of you have homes and land in your area, or some version of that. And you could be doing this. And so it's just awesome. Why won't now? You've trained tens of thousands of people, maybe hundreds of thousands or millions. I don't know what your numbers are, but when you teach this, why won't someone do this? Why won't, like, you teach them, you tell them, all right, here's what you say, here's how to find the realtors or professionals, here's what to say. What do you think? Why won't they do it?
I mean, and the first thing that comes to my mind is, well, why would they follow me? I'm not making any money, or they're, oh, that person drives a BMW.
They're justifying in their head. They're justifying in their head. Well, if I reach out to someone, well, easy for Todd to do because he's made money. I haven't made money. Is that what you're saying?
That's part of the answer for sure. So that's a common answer that regardless of what kind of prospecting we're doing in network marketing, people get caught up in their head. And the biggest reason people don't act is because of fear of judgment. That's like the biggest fear, like being judged or perceived in some not so good way for doing this thing. And that's something that any network marketer must get over if they're going to achieve success here. But it's like, okay, well, like, I haven't made any money yet. And the thing is, and I teach this, when I'm doing a full-blown training on how to recruit professionals, you don't have to be good, experienced, or have already succeeded in order to be successful here. The other thing that I think a lot of networkers get wrong, and I know you don't, because I have the same philosophy here, is they look at somebody and what they drive, or their house, their car, their lifestyle, and they think they would never touch this. Like, I'm not even, and so they don't even bring it to them. And our job is just to flip the rock over and see if there's an opportunity that exists. And we say this in Network Marketing 101, never prejudge a person, but we do it all the time. And so what naturally happens is people go down the socioeconomic chain after their broke friends or broke bros, thinking, okay, well, if they reject me, who cares? But what if the really successful person I know, what if they say no? The funny thing is, I get no's when I go after professionals, but they're like professional no's. They're like, no, I'm totally focused. I appreciate the call, man, but we're crushing it in this. And so they don't hurt like, oh, I can't, how dare you call me about a network marketing thing? You'd never get that with professionals.
Great point. And I, you have to kind of, pay attention and know, and kind of know this. Like, we had, in our company, we had a guy, he had 76 Domino's franchises. Back then, I don't know what it is now, but back then it was $250,000 to have one. He had 76. And he was doing presentations nonstop. And I'm like, why are you like so focused on this? And he's like, man, I just love the model, man. I think it's so cool to build residual income. I've seen so many. I remember we recruited a guy. I don't know if you know him or not, Ron LeGrand. He's a big real estate investor guru. I don't know if he's still around. I haven't seen him in years, but I mean, at the time, I believe his company was doing about 20 million a year. And so I have a conversation with him and I said, Ron, put me on the worst slot of your stage. I'll close 10%. I'll build you a check. You don't got to do anything. Just keep bringing me back to the events. And I was at one of his events and there was a super sharp insurance guy. And I mean, just sharp dressed, just very well spoken. And we were talking before I went up, and he's like, "Oh, what, you're a speaker. Like, what are you going to speak?" And I told him, I'm like, "Well, I'm going to be speaking. It's a little different than everything else." And talks about residual income. And he goes, "Is it network marketing?" And I'm like, "Oh, why do you ask?" He goes, "Because I love network marketing, but no one has ever prospected me."
It's funny, and insurance is so similar to network marketing.
So similar.
It's the most similar thing to any other industry. Period.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so it's crazy. So those of you on here, I am absolutely willing to bet that you actually know professionals that would totally say yes to this, but you just haven't approached them. And so I love what you're sharing, Todd. So what are some, you're going to go through, everyone does, we all have, everyone goes through some dry patches, right? Where you're just getting no after no after no after no. Any kind of suggestions, motivation on how can you stick with it? How can you be more consistent?
Well, I think I had this guy, I won't say his last name, Scott M., who called me one day. I have an entire training course where I teach this stuff. So he buys the courses years ago and he tries to do his own thing. I'm going to do these professionals. I'm going to do this script. And he fell flat on his face. He fell flat. And I'm dating myself. It was saved on my BlackBerry voicemail. I don't even know BlackBerry exists anymore. And I had it saved for years because he calls me up. He goes, Todd, I screwed up. I bought your course. I did this and it didn't work for me, but I keep hearing all these stories from all these people that are getting results. So this time I did it with the professionals that you teach. I did it exactly how you teach it. And I went 12 for 12 and 9 for 12 on his first 2 dialing sessions, meaning he made 12 calls, got 12 yeses and then 9 on the second time, which is pretty good numbers.
Wow. Yeah.
To stay with it, first of all, like you can't do anything going, I'm going to give this a go for a little bit. Like there's a big reason why people fail in network marketing, period, is because they're like, I'm going to give it 6 months. Like, why don't you just do yourself a favor and give this everything that you've got until you succeed? And if you can just eliminate any exit options or bowing out options, then all the things that need to avail themselves to you to achieve success avail themselves to you, because exiting and failing is no longer an option. In terms of like getting better results, like I've been teaching this for so freaking long, and there are things that make me scratch and make me pull my hair that I don't have out of my head, is when people say that they want to get good. And I'm like, okay, Ray, so what are you doing to get good? And then they look at you like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, okay, so you got these guitars in the background, right? You can see the guitars hanging there. And it's like, well, how do I expect to get good at the guitar? I can't just have them hanging on my wall. I got to have them in my hands. I got to be strumming chords. I got to be playing. I got to maybe go get some guitar lessons, maybe get onto a YouTube video, see somebody who's playing some songs and play it. How you get good at one thing is how you get good at everything. So if like succeeding in network marketing and having, honestly, dude, people that actually start to recruit professionals, I guarantee you have more fun doing network marketing because the conversations are a blast. It's like if you could spend all day, every day, like you pick up the phone and you call a Todd or you call a Ray or you call a Jessica or you call somebody that has some skills, and that's all you talk to. It's like you want to jump up, and I can't wait to go make another call today because I'm only talking to good people. That was my whole reason for starting this, was I just got tired of talking to people that just were not qualified for my time. Yeah. And if you stick to it, like the whole idea, like consistency, like that's in every single probably success book that's ever written.
Sure.
You gotta begin with the end in mind. Like, not, I'm going to give this a particular amount of time. I've structured this in a way where anybody can figure this out. Like I got this guy, Jim Tanner, very successful guy. He's a 7-figure earner. He has built his entire network marketing business doing exactly what I teach in my course. He was a furniture delivery. He drove a furniture delivery truck when we first connected. And to see what he's done, amazing. Like, I mean, if I put him on video right now, he'd be like, dude, I built my whole business the way Todd teaches it.
That's so cool, man. That's so cool. And so you have, because I haven't. Well, you have a training, right? And it's how to recruit I'm looking at the page right now. How to recruit high caliber professionals into network marketing without begging, chasing, or sounding like a pitch artist. And so this is a free training, and I'm going to share the link. Can you tell me a little bit about this free training?
Yeah, I had people that are like, "Hey, how come you haven't done any trainings on recruiting professionals in a while?" And honestly, it had been like 4 or 5 years since I've done a like live training webinar on that subject. So a couple weeks ago, I threw up a registration page, had a few hundred people register for it, did it live, recorded it, because I know just like with any webinar, about 50% of the people that registered and want to see it don't show up.
Sure.
You know that, and so that's what that page is that you're putting in there is. The recorded version of that training. And I would sit down and I would definitely grab some notes or grab a pen and paper. You will want to take notes. And one of the things that I'm not going to do it here, but I do it in the training. There's something really interesting. Like I am going to open up your eyes like so big that you're going to realize I have hundreds of opportunities that are like literally underneath your nose every single day. And you're driving by it, you're walking by it, you're scrolling by it. And you're not even realizing that is an opportunity. So one of the things I do is I teach you how, like the eyes cannot see the things that they're not yet trained to see. So I'm going to train you to look and go, oh, is that an opportunity? And I promise you, when you'll remember this, when you go to this training, you'll be like, oh, that's what he was talking about. And I guarantee you 99.9% of the people that go through will answer no to the third question. You'll answer yes to the first 2 questions. You'll remember this when you go to the training, and you'll answer no. And the reason you answer no is because up until now, you haven't been taught to look at that as an opportunity. And now it's time for you to make a different decision. Go, okay, well, now Todd's messed with my mind. Now I've got a decision to make. Am I going to act on this or am I going to continue to pass it up?
Right. And we should mainly be relying on AI to reach out to people, right?
Dude, I love AI.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go for a couple hours on that. I mean, I'm like fully embraced in AI, but I mean, no, I know you're being facetious.
Right.
We're calling people, we're picking up the phone, or we're texting. Those are the 2 things I do: text, call. Oh, actually, text, call, or email, or message. But I don't. To me, it's the connection. Like it's literally picking up the phone. Ray,
Yes.
Todd Falcone, how's it going? I was just on your website with Coldwell Banker. Look, I saw your German Shepherd, beautiful dog. I used to own Shepherds. I'm expanding my business throughout Dallas. I love working with real estate people. I got a simple, straight up question for you. Do it all. Keep your options open in terms of making money outside of what you're currently doing.
Yeah.
Not that fast, by the way.
Yeah. And it's not an anti-AI thing, but I know there's someone on here right now is like, how do I automate this? Like, this sounds wonderful. How do I automate it? And, AI has some amazing uses. Definitely use all of that for all of that, but not when it comes to connecting with human beings. And
nope.
And it really stands out because I think fewer and fewer are doing this kind of approach. I mean, I don't know, I could be wrong, but
no, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not. You know, it's interesting you bring that up. Because dude, you're you have a way bigger you like crush it on social. I had to learn all this stuff from you, man. Like I knew you before you were ever even training. And then I'm like, Ray blows past me. He's got this massive social media following. And I'm like, I got to study Ray and see what he's doing. And what's interesting is, and even like some of those events that we went to where we first met, going back and forth to LTD and No Excuses, like sure. They would always bring guys like me in to like, go, hey man, you need to pick up the phone and call your leads.
You would be the one guy.
I was like the dude that they brought in, the old wise man who's like, hey, just because the leads are coming in, you can't just sit there with your feet up on the desk and you're going to automate. Of course, I would love, honestly, and I know you would too as a speaker. Wouldn't it be beautiful, Ray, if we could just sit back and our calendar for speaking gigs got completely full and we didn't have to do anything except show up on stage, do our thing for 90 minutes. I mean, that is my dream, but that's not the reality.
True.
I get gigs that are, people that call me and I got, okay, cool. But those are like lay down sales. You don't build a career waiting for something to happen. That's the same thing with this.
Right. Amen. I love that. And so in case you didn't see me post it, I posted the link. If you'd like to, this is a free training. This is where Todd goes very in depth, shows you step by step, word for word, everything to do on how to recruit professionals. HigdonGroup.com/professionals. And so you can register for that. I would tell your team about it. Send them to HigdonGroup.com/professionals. And yeah, I just love, we haven't had this conversation in too long. And so, it's just such a good refresher, and it's just so true, and that's what my wife did too. My wife, she went after financial planners, she went after insurance people, became the #1 female earner in that company. And so it's just awesome. And so if you're frustrated with either your lack of action or you're frustrated with the types of people you're talking to, then I don't know why you wouldn't register for this free training. So it's HigdonGroup.com/professionals. Todd, I just really appreciate you, man. I love the common sense that you bring. I love the experience that you bring, and just really appreciate our friendship and all you do for the industry, man.
Likewise, brother. Thanks for having me on, and it's good to see you.
Yeah, man. All right. Awesome.
Thank
Well,
you.
there you go. Todd Falcone, drop him a comment if you got some value from this. You want to dive deeper, go to HigdonGroup.com/professionals. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for being on here. God bless you guys. Later, Todd.
See ya.